So I'm here with a good friend of mine, Ryan, an absolute gun in fucking sales. And we're just talking about how e-commerce infrastructure has changed through TikTok, Trump, and Temu, and just general questions about e-commerce and life. So if you're interested in learning more, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and tune into my Instagram for daily updates, and you can get to know more on there. Cheers.
All right.
So Ryan, how you doing, man?
John, how are you?
Always good, bro. So yeah, today we're just going to talk about obviously e-commerce. You know how TikTok, Trump, and Temu are changing the game for e-commerce. So yeah, man, let's get into it. So just give the audience a brief background about yourself, so they know who you are and what you do and all that.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm 21, living in Bangkok, Thailand almost the last 2 years. I'm just a remote closer, closing deals, solving problems, and just helping people level up their lives by making these very big decisions on Zoom calls. And yeah, we met, I think we met pretty long time ago now, like maybe 6 months ago.
Yeah, 6 months ago,
Yeah, you know, getting hit in the face, punching each other. But we had some pretty good rounds.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Definitely lost a few brain cells. But as you know, if you guys lose enough brain cells, you don't have to think anymore. You can just take action towards your goals. And that's why we're here today.
Yeah, 100%, man. Yeah. Well said. Well, yeah, so I guess with e-commerce, are you like familiar with it all? Or?
Yeah, isn't that like, that's probably what I think the first niche I ever found online. Like that's the first like way I saw to like that people were making money online.
Yeah.
So it's like been around a pretty long time, right?
Yeah, 100%. I think e-commerce has been around like even before the internet. It's been around because let's say someone had goods. It's like an arbitrage method, right? And that's been around for thousands of years. Even back in, you know, the ancient times, there would have been people who knew a manufacturer. It would have been like a, you know, tradesman then, someone who just has a massive shop and they have like a team and they just create shit, right?
Yeah.
And then someone would have been like the person on the street. They say, okay, well, you give us a good deal, we'll buy it for you for cheap, and then they sell it as an up price on the street, so they make the profit. So the method has been around thousands of years. Obviously, it's just changed with the internet, and it's just exploded. It's a $1 trillion industry, and every single year it's growing without fail. So I think regardless of what you do, I think e-commerce is the best thing. I know you might you might disagree, but I think it's one of the only business models that you can start from nothing. You obviously need a bit of capital to run paid ads.
Yeah.
But you can start organic, then move to paid ads, and you can scale like the sky's the limit. There's brands doing $1 million days, and I don't see that with any other industry.
Yeah. And like with e-commerce, you can actually sell that business, right? Like with remote sales, it might be the easiest and quickest way, but you can't ever like sell like a business like with remote sales, if that makes sense. So like you can sell e-commerce businesses, right? Yeah.
So even dropshipping brands, bro, a lot of people don't know this, but you can build it for 6 to 12 months. And as long as the ad account is active, it's getting daily sales, you don't have a lot of chargebacks, you can sell it for a 1 to probably a 2x multiple. So let's say in that 12 months, you made 500K, you could most likely sell it for $1 million, as long as there's not issues with chargebacks and customer complaints and all that, which obviously, you know, if you have the right systems, you can do that.
Yeah.
But then the long-term game, this is where it gets really interesting, right? Let's say you run a brand for 2 to 5 years and now you have subscriptions. So let's say you have 100 to 200K, let's just say 100K, right? 100K MRR, you can easily sell it for a 5 to 10x multiple of the profit you made, which is fucking nuts, bro.
Yeah. Shit.
Like in 5 years, let's say you make 5 mil, right? Hypothetically. Now you can sell it for 25 to 50 million.
Straight in your pocket.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's insane. How long have you been doing e-commerce? Like 4 years, right?
No, only 1 year.
Only 1 year?
So 1 year and a quarter. So I started in September 2023. And since then, I've done over 5 million USD in revenue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you could sell it for like, what do you think if you could sell it right now if like you wanted to? Like what would you say you could sell it for right now?
My brand, this one that I'm running right now, my main brand, I started in May last year, and I could probably sell it for 800 to 900K. Yeah,
that's insane.
But I don't want to sell it now because I'm playing chess, not checkers, right? So obviously you have your short-term plays. Like if you want to do a drop shipping store, which I have partner stores right now, and you know, they manage everything on the back end. I teach them and I just run the ads. So I'm using my skill of running ads to make them money, teach them, and also it's beneficial for me. But those are like more short-term plays. It's like, you know, you get a store to 100, 200K a month. Now you're making 20 to 50K extra profit.
Yeah.
Right? And they're pretty much doing all the work.
It's kind of like outsourcing everything.
Yeah, like you outsource what you can to your team. Like you got your customer support. I have a PA. She does pretty much everything like systemizing, automation, Zapier, all that boring shit.
Yeah.
And then when it comes to creative strategists, so like getting a video editor to make iterations of your winning ads. So basically, right, let's say you have, I'll dumb it down because I know I'm probably speaking like
it's like foreign language.
Yeah. Yeah. So basically what I do, right, let's say I test an ad and then in 3 to 5 days, it has a 2.5 to 3x return on ad spend. So every dollar you spend, you're getting 2.5 to $3 back, right? That's when you know that it's a winning ad. And then what I do, I get those winning ads, I put it into an Excel sheet, has all the data in there. Then I send it to my video editor and I say, make 5 to 10 iterations of this. So iteration just means like a variation, right? So they go in there, they change the call to action, they change the hook. They can even get the winning ad script. And this is something that new that I'm doing. You put it into AI UGC. I don't know if you've seen those videos. The ones that are like, you know, they have the AI UGC and they're just talking in the camera. They don't really convert well because they look fake, bro.
Yeah,
like,
they do look fake. I have seen those.
Yeah. Anyone can tell, right? The ones that work is the ones when it's the little person in the corner. I'm sure you've seen these ones. The little AI UGC in the corner, and it's like a green screen background. And in that green screen background, that's where it's actually going over like the TikTok style edits.
Yeah.
So I'm training my editor right now to do that. And bro, you do that plus image ads. Image ads is fucking next level. Like that's, I would say 70% of what got me to $1 million a month in November, 900K in December was image ads. So you get the winning videos and then you transcribe it. So you get the script of it and you say, what angle does this target? What are their desires? What are their pain points? What psychological triggers were used in this ad to make them purchase? And then you make image ads that target that same customer avatar, which I'm sure you have in sales as well.
Exactly.
I think it's for you, it's ICP.
Yeah.
If I'm not wrong.
Exactly.
Yeah. So for us, it's ICA. So rather than persona, it's avatar, because you're not targeting, you know, one individual person. You're targeting
like a group.
Like a broad range of a broader range of people, right? So you get all those avatars, and then you get your image ad, which I'm literally find my image ad designer.
Yeah.
Because today I found a loophole basically. So I can get those winning ad scripts, get my PA to make, to get all the information like the, you know, what I just said, the angle, desire, pain point, etc. Then I can put that into ChatGPT with a prompt, and I can give it examples of my previous winning ads, and then say, hey, make 5 variations of this. And then it makes them for free, and people can literally sell that $5 a piece. If you're a freelancer, or even if you want to sell it as an extra service, you know, for big brands, you can sell it like 1K, charge a retainer for 100 ads or something like that. Then you're printing.
That's fire, bro. That's
Yeah.
fire. And like, what other changes have you seen? Like, I'm guessing with like Trump becoming president, like, have you seen any big changes with the e-commerce landscape?
Yeah, for sure. So obviously Trump's come in, and because he wants to regain, I actually fucking love Trump, bro. I don't know about you. Yeah, fucking oath. But yeah, so Trump's come in. Obviously, he's made a tariff on Chinese goods for 10 to 50% of their import value. So whatever it costs in China, he adds 10 to 50% on that.
Yeah.
Now he's reduced it to 10%, which is not too bad. So like, let's say if a product is $12, now it's going to be $13.20. So it's not too bad.
Yeah.
But it will affect your margins over a long period of time. So I'd say the way to mitigate the tariffs is number one, charge extra on your shipping. So like, let's say your offer is $29.99 plus $5 shipping. I'd just make it like $6 or $7. Another way, which is very important for building a long-term brand, is making a higher perceived value. So let's say you get a product, you run it up, you do drop shipping, right? You just slap your label over the top and then you just run it up to 200, 300, 400K months, whatever, right? Then what you do, you make a completely new design that's sort of similar, but it's your own custom product. And you get AI, you can use Flare.ai. You use that to make good background images. And because of that, you build a higher perceived value. And then you get UGC creators to make custom content for your brand so that when people are going on Facebook, they see the name of your brand keep popping up constantly, right? So that feeds into their subconscious. And then you also, what you can do as well is you can get another profile, another Facebook profile, and then you can comment on your own ad, right? Yeah. You can say like, this product's the best, blah, 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 send a photo of the product. And you can do that on multiple profiles. And then you can go on other profiles and like, I know it's a bit advanced process, but you can go on other profiles and like it. And that'll also increase your conversion rate and the amount of volume you get, which in turn, Facebook will reward you because they reward you based on how many conversions you get and also the reaction. So the feedback score is what it's called. So how do people react? Are they getting the product on time? Do they like the quality of the product? You know, all that, the customer support, everything like that. I know I went on a bit of a rant, bit off topic, but
I'm still keeping up.
Yeah. But the other thing with Trump, I think, is the TikTok. So I don't know if you've seen he was going to ban TikTok.
Yeah, I think it was banned for like 4 days or something.
Yeah,
like 2 days.
But bro, put it this way, right? The elites make so much money off people being, number one, distracted, but number two, they're buying products off of TikTok, which even if the elites don't have a direct involvement to those brands, they're making money off those brands from the taxes.
From like the fees and stuff.
Yeah, the fees, the taxes, everything, right? So it's a win-win for them. So they're not going to cut that off because I'm sure it's $1 billion industry. Yeah. They're not just going to say, oh, no, we'll shut it down. There's no way, bro.
Yeah.
It was all just a play from Trump, I think, to regain power over China. Because at the end of the day, I don't actually have TikTok on my phone. I don't know about you, but I know a lot of people do. And if you don't know this, it literally gets all your information from your phone. It can see who you're messaging, you know, your notes, everything, right? And that's probably all stored in a data center in China, which then they're selling or they're using, I don't know what for. But either way, I think it should be free will of the person. If you want to be retarded and use TikTok, then may as well make fucking money from it. Yeah.
Like China's right now just building a clone of you without even realizing it.
Yeah.
The people who are watching TikTok. But yeah, what do you say, like TikTok, that's like the new kind of gold era, like the gold rush for like e-commerce, like that's the new kind of platform to conquer?
I would say yes for established brands, but no for people just starting out. Because number one, you need inventory. And number two, you need a constant flow of creatives, which is going to come from creators making ads for your brands, right? So they're going to get paid a commission. And if your brand is not a viral brand, no one's going to know your brand, right? So you're starting basically from nothing, but all it takes is one ad to go viral. And then it's a ripple effect because what they can do is pretty much what I do with Facebook ads. You just make the same ad, the same script, everything, and all you do is just change the visuals of it. So then TikTok sees it as a new video. Yeah. And obviously it's going to go, most likely going to go viral again. And then that's how you're going to compound. And you just keep you got to keep doing that. So yeah, to answer your question, I do think it is very lucrative, but it also comes down to having the inventory and having access to good creators, not just ones that just make a video for the sake of making a video.
Yeah. So like the first place to start out, like if I were to start e-commerce like tomorrow, wouldn't be TikTok, it'd be like more Facebook or Instagram.
Yeah. So if you were to start out tomorrow, I would say just learn dropshipping first. Yeah. So, you know, good artists create, great artists steal, right? So go onto Facebook ads library, or if you want to do Calidata, but that's where everyone else looks. You get a winning product with some ads, you take their product, you just change it to your like brand name, right? So you make a new brand name, so it's not exactly the same, but you can use their ads because you're just changing one little thing, so no one's going to notice, right? And then what I do to stand out from other people is I change the offer. I make the offer a lot more irresistible. So if people
like
click,
no-brainer.
Yeah. So people click on it, they're like, fuck, I have to buy this, right? So what I usually do is I do a $20 margin, and that's including the shipping. So it'll be $15 front end. So let's say it's $15 cost of your product, right? So I'll do $29.99 front end, and then back end will be $5 shipping. So total is $35. So you're still making a $20 margin.
Yeah.
But if your competitor just has what everyone else has, 50% off, free shipping, it's the same as everyone else.
Yeah.
Right. And I don't know if you've seen dropshipping stores, but a lot of them have these long landing pages with like GIFs and, seen in and all this fucking bullshit, bro. My landing pages are so fucking simple and they get a 5 to 7% conversion rate, which the industry standard is 1.9.
Yeah.
So that's like what, 4 to 5% higher.
That's insane.
That's what I would recommend, honestly. Do that. And then once you have a proven product that's doing 100, 200K months, then brand it out. So get custom design, get stock in US. So then your customers are getting the product in 3 to 5 days, and then get custom content, and then just build a fucking machine.
Yeah.
Content, keep coming in. You're making iterations, expanding the team, systemizing, and then, eventually the play, I think, is to exit. So I think that's like the roadmap from starting. So you start drop shipping, build it into a brand, build it for like 1 to 2 years, exit, then you can repeat, or you can just keep the brand as a fucking money printer.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
And when we're starting out, like let's just say I start tomorrow, I find a brand, I'm starting to drop ship. Like what would you say is the best way to market or to push content out? Like organic, paid ads, or a little bit of both?
So I personally have never done organic. So I can't say organic works, it doesn't work. But from what I've seen, it takes a lot more time and dedication to make organic work. Obviously, if you have no money, you have no choice, right?
Yeah.
Because you can't pay for ads, you can't pay for the cost of the product. So yeah, I would honestly just start with paid ads. Have you ever run Facebook ads before or no?
I have actually tried drop shipping in college, and funny enough, I think 6 months ago, I got the sale. 2 years later, it was like a pair of pants.
Yeah.
For $13.
Yeah.
But yeah, I never ran ads. I just put it up on eBay.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, basically what I would do is I would do what I said. So get that product, make a really fucking simple landing page, irresistible offer so they can't say no. And then I'll just chuck it in a CBO, so campaign budget optimization. So that basically means, right, in Facebook, you have 3 sections. You have the campaign, you have the ad set level, and then you have the ads, right? I would just have one campaign, CBO. So you're optimizing from the campaign budget, right? So you set that at $100. You do one ad set with 7 ads. And then in the ad copy, what I do is hook. So you want to hook them in with, either their problem or a desire that they want to solve, through, your product. Then 3 key benefits and then a call to action. That's it.
Very simple.
Just keep it, stupid simple.
Yeah.
Because people overcomplicate it with paragraph in their ad copy. Bro, no one's going to fucking read that shit.
Yeah, no one has a attention span anymore.
No way. Bro, I look at the average watch time on my videos on Facebook. It's literally 5 to 7 seconds.
Dopamine isn't getting hit enough.
They're literally just scrolling 1, 2, 3, boom. That's it. So that's why images are fucking insane, bro. Next level.
Yeah.
That's why I think it's a mix of the two. But yeah, definitely just start with videos.
Yeah.
What's already working, just make it better. That's it.
And when you're trying to look for a product, a winning product, how do you even go about doing that? I only found pants. So how do you do you just start scrolling? Do you hire a VA? What mindset do you go into to go out there in the content realm and try to find that winning product?
Yeah. So I look for high TAM multiples. So the average market share, big multiples. So the health and wellness, the beauty niche, the home decor niche, the women's niche. I look in those niches, and then I look for a problem within that niche, and then I solve that problem with a product, right? That's one way of doing it. Another way is you look at already selling products. So let's say on Facebook ads library, you just look at keywords like, selling, stock selling fast, money back guarantee, all these keywords that every dropshipper uses. Then you run the keyword of that product. So let's say it's shapewear. You put shapewear into Google Trends, and then you can see, okay, I usually look for 25,000 per month, monthly search volume. And like the graph has to be like this, right?
Yeah.
So if you're on the upward trend, that's how you know that it's a trending product, right? So if you get in like when it's going up, you can make a shit ton of money before the trend down.
Yeah.
And then during that period, you can build it into a brand as long as it solves an actual problem.
Yeah.
Right. So I look for those insecurity, like as I mentioned, shapewear, because that's never going to go away.
Yeah.
Right. There's always going to be fat women who want to.
That's a trend.
Yeah. Yeah. Who want to appease, the males, and rather than going the hard route and going to the gym, they get there's actually a male shapewear as well. Have you seen it?
What's shapewear? Is that like the thing you put on
Yeah,
the waist?
it's like the thing. It's like a bodysuit overall, and it just tucks their waist in, so they can wear like two, 3 sizes down.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then I seen this one for men, bro. It's like a singlet, and you seen these fat like beer bellies, and they just put the singlet on. It makes it flat. Yeah. So I mean,
kind of tucking it in there.
Yeah, bro. So that's an example of insecurity, and that's never going to go away. Like humans will always have insecurities, and you're solving that by placing a product that will temporarily get rid of that. So that's why it'll always sell.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's another example. And then, obviously the gifting products as well. So like seasonal, like Halloween, Easter, I know is coming, or what?
Maybe water guns for Songkran.
Huh?
Water guns for Songkran.
What's that?
Songkran, like the water festival in Thailand, like April.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, you could sell it, but I don't think Thailand really buy that much.
It's not the target you want to aim for.
I'm talking like mainly US holidays. So right now, Easter's perfect.
Yeah.
And then, you got 4th of July, Halloween, obviously Christmas as well. So those type of products as well. They do well for a period of time, but then after that, they're shit. So like pump and dumps, they're perfect. Branding, no.
So it's better to find something for like maybe the year-round type of brand.
Yeah, so that's why I say trending, insecurity, or fixes a problem. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And with e-commerce, it's like very big in psychology. So if someone's watching this and they have no idea how to even think in terms of like getting to people's insecurities, to like what they want, like what even helped you to get into that field of like psychology to be able to realize and be conscious and aware of like who you're targeting, why you're targeting them, and how the targeting will affect them into actually buying.
Yeah, so I read a book, very good book. It's pretty old. It's called Breakthrough Advertising. I'm sure you've heard of it.
I've never read it.
Bro, it's like an age-old book. It's like $280 because there's hardly any copies around, right? And it talks about a lot of things, but it also talks about how to portray your marketing so you're speaking directly to their problem, right? So what I do is I get my winning ad scripts, and then even if you don't have winning ad scripts, you can just go on, the top videos on Cali Data, and they're winning for a reason.
Yeah.
Right. And then you can say to ChatGPT, once you transcribe it, you can say, hey, here's the top 10 ads for the product I want to sell. What are the psychological triggers used in these ads, right, to make them convert? So for example, you have the greed trigger. So everyone wants more and more, whether it's money, materialistic stuff. Then you have the impulse trigger. So just what makes people to buy. You have the goldfish trigger. So like, the fact that people can't spend more than 3 to 5 seconds watching a video. And, there's a whole list of triggers that you can look deeply into. And yeah, what made me get into it was understanding you can't just be a dropshipper forever. You have to shift from being a dropshipper, like hustling, to actually building a brand long term and thinking like a businessman, not like, oh yeah, it's just a side hustle.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, if you're trying to run it as a side hustle, you could make it work, but there's going to be people who spend 12 to 16 hours per day systemizing, team building, working on what actually makes their product a winner. And they're going to be the people that outscale those fucking side hustlers 9 times out of 10. Yeah.
Yeah. And with e-commerce, like, what do you say? It's like, I know it's like very saturated right now. So like for someone who's watching this right now, who might think it's like too late to get into e-commerce, like what would you say to them?
Well, look at the graph of the amount of sales per year. It's not on a decline, it's on an incline. So yes, the competition is getting more fierce because more and more people are getting into it. More people are advertising, on Instagram, YouTube to do drop shipping, right? Because it is a very lucrative business model and it's very quick to get into. However, it's not saturated. It's just people don't have the knowledge that is needed in order to get them to 10, 50, 100K months, even $1 million months, right? So it's just the knowledge gap. That's all it is. And I'm sure it's the same in sales. Like, you can get to a certain point by yourself, but I think in order to get to the next step, you need someone who's already done it. So then you ask them the questions. Yeah.
Like, get with someone who's already at the level you want to be at, so that we can learn their inputs, what they're doing, so that we can just copy, replicate that into your own life and your own business, so that we can get to that level yourself.
100%. Yeah, that's why my passion is to help others. So that's why now I've been teaching people as well. So my goal is on YouTube just to provide as much free value as possible, and then if they want to actually learn the proper source that I'm using, then they can sign up to my mentorship. You get lifetime access to the Discord. You get 1 weekly call per week, a community of fucking killers. And that's my next passion, is to help people get rich, because the billionaire is the one who helps people get rich, whereas the millionaire only focuses on himself. So that's the next step for me. And you guys don't have to buy that at all. I don't care if you do or if you don't. I'm only taking on people who actually qualify. But if you are interested, there will be a link below. So just click it out and click it and see if you qualify.
Yeah, fair enough. And then let's just say someone's watching this right now. Maybe they're in the 9 to 5 and they've been looking to start e-commerce for years, and they're maybe making $5K a month consistently with working at McDonald's, whatever it may be. Like, what would be your step-by-step process to give to them to get them from McDonald's to traveling, making a big brand with e-commerce, and unlocking the first 2 doors of freedom, or just time and location freedom, and hopefully eventually financial freedom?
So first thing obviously is I would recommend staying in that job and saving as much money as possible. So make a list of your expenses, cut them down, and shave all the bullshit. If you truly want it, you'll get rid of fucking Netflix subscriptions. You do meal prep instead of door dashing. That'll probably save you an extra $500 to $1,000 a month. Just simple things like that. And then I would look to get a second job as well, so you can get more money in the shortest period of time. And then what I would do when you have enough to start e-commerce, like realistically, you only need 2 to 4K for ads, but then obviously a mentorship is more, and that's what I'd recommend. But once you have enough, then I would cut back your hours on the job. So still keep it just to pay the bills, and then all your extra money and time, like literally when you get home, you get on the fucking laptop and you start working. That's it. That's how you're going to make it work. Because when I first started, bro, I was sleeping like 3 hours a night, sometimes no sleep for the first month. Just every day, just fucking grinding, testing products, giving feedback to a group that I was in, getting the feedback and then making adjustments based on that. And then also taking notes. So like what worked, what didn't, why did it work, why didn't it work? Because yes, you can make it work. Like I think Tate says it, right? You can be a fucking idiot and make millions of dollars, right? But if you actually have the IQ to analyze what you did right or what you did wrong, you can make a fuck ton more as long as you're taking action. But to go from a 9 to 5, that's what I would do. And then obviously it's shifting your beliefs as well. That's a big thing in any industry, but especially in e-commerce. It's like shifting your beliefs to, okay, 5K a month is a lot, to 5K a month is fucking nothing, right? You can do that. Like within my first month, I did 3K in a day. Within my first month, hit 10K a month profit. Then next month with 20K, and then, up and down from there. But it's just shifting that limiting belief. And we do have a mindset section as well, which just goes over getting rid of those and then forging new beliefs. So having a vision board, having your purpose, finding your why, writing all that down, and then just fucking going all in. That's it.
How much time would you say it would take per week if they really want to make this work like as fast as possible?
So ideally, you'd want to be spending 4 to 6 hours a day, whether it's doing product research, testing products, looking at the ad data and then making adjustments. All that is necessary in the start. But at the end of the day, the more time you spend, the faster that opportunity will come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And with like the separate ad spend that you would need for, starting out, like what would you say you would need set aside maybe weekly or monthly?
Yeah. So ideally, I like to give my products $100 spend, right? So every day you need $100, put it that way, right? Because you want to test one per day. But if it gets good results the first day, obviously you keep it running, you scale, etc. And if you have a credit card and you have good credit history, then you can get a higher limit faster and you can use that to scale. Because, bro, the second month, right, I got a store to 5K per day.
Yeah.
My second ever store. And then I got a fucking PayPal hold for 180 days. They're holding like 25K. I had no money to fucking pay for ads, no money to pay for suppliers, nothing, bro. I was fucked.
Yeah.
And then I had to negotiate with them. They gave me a percentage of it back, and then I was able to scale again. I was doing like 2K because I didn't have the funds. But yeah, my recommendation would be $100 a day, and then making sure you're spending on a credit card to, number one, get all those points. But number two, then you have a higher threshold that you can spend per day. Because at the end of the day, he who spends the most is the one who wins. So you have to outspend, outscale, and out-systemize your competitors. That's it.
And I know we have like the time and the kind of money set aside, but like to get to their first 10,000 a month like profit in their pocket, if they do both of these things the right way consistently, like how long would you say it would take for someone who's absolutely dialed in?
If you have a mentor, could take 3 to 6 months, sometimes more. By yourself, sorry. By yourself, 3 to 6 months. If you have a mentor, there's no reason you can't do it in the first month. Yeah. Just about knowing the right steps to take with a proven system, which I have, and then just following that system. And it's very fucking simple. So yeah.
Yeah. And with starting an e-commerce brand and like taking that leap, like why would you say like the value in terms of like taking that next step to maybe getting the life that they want is, at least giving them a chance? Because like if they're just working at McDonald's or working their 9 to 5 right now, they're literally guaranteed to stay there right now. It's like, what value would you say is there in taking that risk to even get that chance to create the life that they may want for themselves?
So I learned this when I jumped out of a plane. Actually, it was last year around my birthday. I was already making money with e-commerce, but if you don't take a risk, that is actually the biggest risk in your life. Because I'm sure you've seen, I don't know where it's from, it's like the rats, they work in a factory.
That little video.
Yeah. Bro, that every time that plays in my head. And if you're like me, you're young, you're in your 20s, you're living with your parents, you got literally nothing to fucking lose. Like that's always in the back of my mind. Even if everything goes to shit, which I know it won't, then I can always just live with my parents, just grind it out, use the skills that I've learned and get on my feet again. So, but if I never did that, I would still be working as a fucking delivery driver, hating my fucking life. And that's why people escape on the weekends, because they don't like the life that they live, so they choose to escape it on the weekends. Whereas if you build a life that actually has purpose and you feel more, especially as a man, I feel like being more confident in your skills with networking, all the different skills you can develop, that comes from discipline. So yeah, at the end of the day, it's all about just having a goal, having a purpose, and then just taking every single step that needs to get done in order to complete that. And every time you scroll on TikTok, you're just delaying that opportunity. Yeah.
Fair enough. And like maybe someone who's watching this right now, they've been watching, e-commerce, they've been watching day trading videos, they've been watching all these different niches. Like how important is it to just focus and hone in on e-commerce, like just this one thing, and just to turn on the blinders to all these other different niches? Yeah.
Well, put it this way, right? When I first started, I started on my own for 3 to 6 months, and I was trying to do 3 different things. So I was trying to do YouTube short form automation. So like making shorts for myself and then following them into a newsletter. I was trying to do e-commerce as well. And I was trying to do something else. I think selling courses, right, for other people and then marketing them. So I was trying to do all those different things, and it didn't work because I was spending some energy here, some here, and then simultaneously trying to learn all these different skills. Whereas I spoke to a millionaire friend of mine And he said, bro, out of these three, what do you like the best? Right. So I said e-commerce, went all in, next month fucking 10K.
Yeah.
So it's energy, bro. Like you just have to dedicate yourself to one thing, become the fucking best at it. Right. So I wouldn't say to you, switch to fucking e-commerce because you're already a fucking gun at sales.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm sure you wouldn't say to me, oh, bro, switch to fucking sales.
Yeah.
Right. So it's just knowing your craft and becoming fucking obsessed with it to the point where you have dreams about, like I have dreams of fucking getting a high ROAS or like hitting a fucking crazy day.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you have dreams of fucking hitting crazy numbers with sales.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So it's the same thing, bro. Just becoming obsessed and wanting it more than fucking you want life.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, 100% agree. Because like, let's just say you're focused on e-commerce, day trading, and all these other different things. You're competing against someone who's all in on e-commerce. So in order to beat that competition, you have to go all in. I absolutely agree.
100%.